You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music. For your listening pleasure.
Hungry? Come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nereida Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
It is now 19 minutes. 19 minutes after 5 o'clock. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It's 20 minutes after 5. A very pleasant good afternoon to everyone tuning in to Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. It's 20 minutes after 5 o'clock, and I'd like to say hi to you, and you, wherever you are tuning in to the program. I have been in absentia for some time, and I know that you have been well taken care of, thanks to Patrick Tyson and Chris Welby. And those of you who tuned in, those of you who wondered, you know, I was not around for a little bit, but I am back and I'm good, and it's a good day. How you been? How you been? Welcome to Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. What is it today? It's a Monday, the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. If you're joining me for the very first time, I'd like to welcome you to Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM. Mondays are good days here on Linkage Radio because Monday Drive is keeping you in the know wherever you are and you'd like to know what's going on here, there, and everywhere. This is a place to do it. Reminding you to catch me on, of course, my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone live stream. And of course, hashtag host Lady D, hashtag ITZ Radio, hashtag ITZ Community Live. You can also email me at insidethezonelyc@gmail.com. You can also catch me on Facebook, Lady D Denise Gomez, and also on Instagram, Lady D Denise Gomez. I don't think you have anyone else who have actually tagged themselves like that. So I decided to do that for a lot of reasons. Want to say hi to Pat, to Gloria, to Eddie, to Vernon, everybody. Also want to say hi to DJ Linkage. And it's a good day, isn't it? Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. You can also listen to me on your phones by dialing 641-552-8206. Welcome, everybody. It feels good to be back here. 23 minutes after 5. This afternoon I have for you the Monday Beat, Voices, Music Zone, a Jamaica Ting, keeping you in the know, and Community Live. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Narita Avenue in the Bronx, and Corey's Eats, 3762 Boston Road. As always, you know I have in the Monday Beat, I'm chasing the Monday blues out of here with some great selections for you. Voices this afternoon, Dion Jackson Miller, interviews Dr. Peter Phillips on TVJ's All Angles. And in a Jamaica Ting this afternoon, Sweet and Dandy. As I was saying, in, of course, a Jamaica Ting this afternoon, Sweet and Dandy, the history of Jamaican sweets. How many of you have sweet tooth? Some people are fighting. I don't want to, but they can't help themselves. Keeping you in the know, we have news for you. And we'd like to introduce Community Life. It's a discussion that Chris Welby and I will be having with you. You can't not just sit and cannot be a part of the show today because we're asking the question, should married couples have their own bank accounts, whether you are actually married by way of a legal, lawful union, or it's a committed relationship? Should you have your own bank accounts? A lot of people have their own views on that. It is now 25 minutes after 5 o'clock, and of course it's time for me to get into the Monday beat because I want to chase, literally say, get out of here, run fast, chase the Monday blues out of here. And this is how I started off because I'm back together with you on a Monday. It is Monday. The Monday beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here. Good afternoon to you, wherever you are tuning in to Inside the Zone from. I do appreciate you joining me here. This is Inside the Zone, aired Mondays from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursdays 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7, and 88.9. That's Sign FM. More music for you on a Monday afternoon. And coming up next, of course, you know how I do voices. The intellectual voice that has everyone talking. It is gonna be a lovely day. Good afternoon to everyone. How you all doing? What are you up to? What you all up to? 5:34 p.m. Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, a Monday drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Where are you right now? Where are you right now? In your living room, in your cars, on your way home? You just like, done, Monday come, and what am I gonna do? And I'm like, yeah, just reveling the day. Enjoy the day, no matter what. 5:35 p.m. Time signal brought to you by Corey's Eats. Corey's Eats. Want to say hi to Corey and his staff over there at 3762 Boston Road in the Bronx. Call them 347-947-9200. Have you stopped by and said, listen, I hear you have waffles. Lady D talking about the waffles, and I'd like to try it out. Give them a call, 347-947-9200. And when you call, place your order for your chocolate chip waffle or your Oreo waffle. Call them and say, I want to try the waffle. They also offer Uber services. They're powered by Uber Eats. They're open Monday to Thursday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. And you know what? When you call, just say you heard it here on Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Reminding you our telephone number is 914-600-4228. If you'd like to listen on your phones, dial 641-552-8206. 641-552-8206. That's all you have to do. The show is also brought to you by...
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nereida Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Absolutely. When it comes on to Caribbean food, you know how that go. We love black pepper. Anybody love black pepper? I like black pepper. There's something about the black pepper that tends to just cause your meat to get a little kick in it. Did you know that people from Antigua, they don't like black pepper? They complain a lot that we use too much black pepper. I want to say good afternoon to you. You're in the Bronx, you're in Brooklyn, you're over there in some far place. I don't know where that is, but I'd like to say hi to you anyway, reminding you that the show ends at 7 o'clock this evening, so I'm here to keep you company in the Monday drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. 5:38 p.m. Right now, I'm taking you to the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. And there is a lot of talk about the upcoming general elections in Jamaica. Let's hear what the president of the People's National Party has to say to Dion Jackson Miller, courtesy of TVJ All Angles.
All Angles, leader of the PNP for the past 3 years, MP for East Central St. Andrew for over 25, former Minister of Finance, National Security, Health, and more. He now faces his ultimate challenge, his first general election as party president.
Our mission is to win.
Dr. Peter Phillips joins me now. So much for joining us. This is All Angles. I'm Dion Jackson Miller, and welcome to our viewers on OneSpotMedia.com. For the full hour for this program, Dr. Peter Phillips, president of the PNP, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. I've heard your views on polls, but nonetheless, I'm going to ask you anyway for your results to the polls we've been carrying this week. Today, party standings came out, 16-point gap between the PNP at 20 and the JLP at 36. Can be good news for you.
No, but I've lived through sufficient polls to know that the real poll that counts is the one on the day. Just going back in 2007, we were told that we would win. We were ahead by supposedly 9 points, 7, 9 points, somewhere there. We lost those elections. In 2011, it was said that we would inevitably lose. We won those elections. 2016,
It was close.
well, the elections, were, but we had the advantage, it was said, but we lost those elections. So, I mean, all told, what I think I have learned from that, especially even looking at the experience in the Caribbean this year, St. Kitts, Guyana, Trinidad, is that what really counts is the polls on the day, and it's not a. I am very confident that in the seat-by-seat count, that we will hold on to those that we have, and we are targeting a number of seats, battleground seats you could call them, where we think we will take a few more. If we take 3 more, we form the government and hold on to those we have.
Having said that, though, when we look at your numbers as well as the party's numbers, 45.9% of the respondents rated your leadership as poor or very poor, 38% as average, only 16% said good or very good. When you look at the party, about 43% said poor or very poor, 41% average, and only 16% again saying good or very good. So the public's low rating of you as a leader and the party under your leadership must be of concern to you. When you introspect, why do you think that is?
Well, I'm not going to take issue with the polls, but just to say that that my experience has told me that public opinion goes and comes. It can change in a twinkling, even if you accept what is being said. We have seen leaders and parties go up and down. And in this particular instance, I think that in the contest that counts, that the PNP is in a very, very good position to contest these elections. There's momentum on the ground that we
That's
see.
not an answer, though, because your ratings have never been very high. So when you sit
depends on
and
when you're talking about.
since your period as leadership, you've never had a period where your approval ratings have been, say, 60% in terms of good and very good. So why do you think that is?
I think that there's a communications issue that we are now getting on top of. There is a failure that has probably existed for some time to communicate even the achievements before. We have allowed the party's image to be structured and proclaimed by others. I think that in many respects we are seeing a momentum shift in that direction. Will it be sufficient? The elections will tell.
Why have you allowed that to happen, though? Because that communications issue is something the party has been criticized for several years. And now, 2 weeks from an election, you say we're now getting on top of that.
Why did we allow that to happen? I think there were many. It is in part that finding the right mix. We have identified the problem for some time, but finding the right combination of resources. Eventually, we looked outside of the party to get those resources and found we believe we have the right support now in that regard. We tried others before, but we had to make adjustments. So, and then there was a whole question of having the resources that were necessary to do that, and we had to make a decided effort to go out and get the resources to be able to buy these particular skills that are out there in the marketplace. And I think there was a particular issue that the party faced, which is of a generational, if you will, change. The fact that a lot of the key expertise that ran the parties overarching campaign operations, communications operations had to some degree moved on, and we had not adequately as a party, long before me, in a sense, made preparations for succession planning.
You're citing external factors, though. Is there nothing you take responsibility for in terms of whether you are resonating with the voters, with the public?
Well, certainly going out there in the street, there is, I accept responsibility, and then the buck stops with me, with everything. Now, you're asking me to make an assessment that the polls are all, and I don't share that view, but I accept when all is said and done, the buck stops with me. But I have been through in life before many challenges. I remember trying to get the IMF program together. There were those who were proclaiming catastrophe in the period 2012 to 13. And indeed, it was a very testing time. But ultimately, we not only came through that, but I think we managed to achieve a pretty good run with stabilizing the economy, reducing the debt and everything. So I accept that there are challenges now. I accept the responsibility for the challenges, but I am not certainly going to roll over and play dead because of some, what perceived bad news.
Yes.
Well, that's the voice of Dr. Peter Phillips, president of the People's National Party. As you know, the general elections were called for September 3rd by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, and so people are getting themselves ready with quite a lot of restrictions in between because of the COVID-19 and so on. And what else is new? Yeah, they're going to keep it rolling. 5:46 p.m., that's a wrap for Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. I have more music for you on a Monday afternoon, the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Where are you? Give me a call, 914-600-4228. Let me know how you've been doing since I've not been around to say hello to you, but certainly you can call 914-600-4228. At 6 p.m., Chris Wilby joins me, and as always, we will be keeping you in the know with news happenings and facts. We also have a new segment this afternoon. You've always heard my hashtag ITZ Community Life. Well, there is a segment called Community Life. This afternoon in Community Life, we discuss and ask the question, should a woman have her own bank account if she is married or in a committed relationship? We like to hold on to our money, and it's my money. What are your thoughts on that? Right after keeping you in the know, we merge right into Community Life with that big question that a lot of people will have their own opinions on and feel very strongly about it, might I add. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. Are you ready? Are you ready for some good music? Here, you know, I'm always choosing musical selections that are not very well played on this station, but that's how we do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's Monday. It's Monday. And I'm bopping my head from side to side. Keep sweat just a touch of love, a little bit.
Just a touch of love. Just a touch of love. A little bit. Just a touch of love.
Makes me shine just a little bit. Just a little bit.
With just a touch of love.
In my mind, baby, just
5:52 p.m. The Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Good afternoon to everyone. How are you today? It's Monday. What did you do over the weekend? Please try to maintain your social distancing. Wear your masks, please. I'm literally hopping while I'm taking Keith's sweat down a bit. Okay, thank you, Keith, thank you. But I'm hopping over to a Jamaica thing. You know, I'm always having to streamline my culture, my Jamaican culture, in my program. And so this afternoon, I have a segment here that is called A Jamaica Thing. Sweet and Dandy, the history of Jamaican sweets. Anybody know about Sweet and Dandy? I don't know, but if you don't know, then I have to do something about that.
It's a land of special people, a place where champions grow, a magical vibe, so much more than you will ever know. You can't ignore the music, bring it so profound. And when it comes to the track, you know that Jamaica won't back down. On top of the world, we're more than just
An island in the sun. All right, so we're more than just an island in the sun because we have a sweet tooth. Did you know that? Yes, we love sweets. Any Jamaican out there can say, no, sir, I'm not a fan. I wouldn't believe you, but I'm just going to say, keep moving, Lady D, keep moving. So good afternoon to those of you who are just joining me. It's a pleasure having you with me this afternoon. Hey, Aubrey, how are you? Thank you for joining. Pat and Chris Welby. We'll be talking. I miss saying that when Chris calls me at 6 o'clock. Chris Welby, 5:54 p.m. Let's get into A Jamaica Thing. Sweet and Dandy, the history of Jamaican sweets. And this is courtesy of Rebecca Tortello. She's the contributor, and this is like some long time ago, but we still have a sweet tooth. Do we care? I don't think so. Jamaicans are among the sweetest people on earth. We laden our tea with condensed milk. We favor sugary sodas and syrupy sky juices. And yes, we love our candy. In days gone by, before the market was flooded with British and American sweets, peppermint sticks, paradise plums, mint balls, gizzada, and Bustamante backbone held sway in the candy department. The word candy is derived from the Arabic kandi, which basically means a sugar confection, and that you can find in my research, Davidson, 1999, on page 129. In ancient times, before sugar cultivation began, honey was used. Middle Easterners, the Indians, Egyptians, the Chinese, and then the Greeks and Romans preserved nuts, fruits, flowers, and plant seeds or stems with honey in a practice still used today. In the Middle Ages, sweetmeats decorated tables in the wealthiest of homes. Very often, the food being eaten was not that fresh, and so the blending of meats with spices and sugar was intended to have a therapeutic effect as a digestive aid. Guests at medieval feasts were often seen carrying these sweetmeats to their rooms to be eaten before bed. During this period, physicians also began the now common practice of coating medicines with sweet flavorings. Remember the song from Mary Poppins? It takes a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. You know that one? Okay. As people experimented with sugary ingredients, different types of candy began to appear. Caramels in the early 18th century and lollipops by the 1780s. Hard candies, often made from lemon or peppermint flavors, became common in the early 19th century. Cream-filled candies first appeared at the 1851 Great Expedition. exhibition, yes, in London. And it wasn't until the late 19th century that the American candy bar rose to prominence. In Jamaica, in days gone by, everyone knew the candy seller. She would find a location on a sidewalk, often in front of a school, and set up her box-shaped, glass-covered wooden display case called a candy bowl. Inside, she artfully arranged colorful traditional sweets, and inevitably, children would appear to have a look-see. Candy recipes, just like general food recipes, were passed on by word of mouth, which accounts for why we have so many different versions of bulla, a popular treat for school children. Cheap and easy to make, a bulla is a small, flat, round cake made with molasses, flour, and baking soda. It can also be flavored with ginger. The coconut is probably the staple of Jamaican sweets. One of the first to come to mind is the Bustamante back bowl, a hard grated coconut and sugar confection named after national hero and first Prime Minister Sir Alexander Bustamante, which is said to represent his firmness of character. Then there is the pink and white gizzada, which as a result of its round, crinkled edges, can also be called pinch me round, the flourless grater cakes, cut cakes, and torta, and of course, coconut drops. Next, in terms of popularity, would most likely come the peanut. Pinda cakes, as the peanut cakes are known, are made from boiling brown sugar with the nut. When sesame seeds are added, it is known as wangla. Another traditional favorite comes from one of our main food staples, the plantain. Plantain tarts are small pastry shell filled with mashed ripe plantain and spices and baked. Tamarind balls, which most likely came to Jamaica with Indian indentured laborers in the 19th century, is another popular sweet now considered a national candy. Tamarind balls are made by kneading tamarind pulp and sugar and forming them into balls left to air to dry. Last but not least, there is also an entire line of corn-based sweeties, the most famous of which is called Brown George or Asham or Sham. Brown George or Asham is made by shelling dry corn, parching it in a hot pot, and then pounding it in a wooden mortar and sifting it until it is similar to sand. Salt or sugar can then be added to the brown mixture, and it can be eaten dry or with water. Asham comes from the African Twi word for parched ground corn. Coction is another sweet made from parched corn and sugar. It is rolled into balls and sometimes colored. Today, sweet making is a dying art, not only because of competition from large commercial international candy corporations, but because many of the recipes have been lost in yet another example of ways in which our intangible heritage is at risk. Ha! Now tell me, did you not enjoy that bit about sweet and dandy? I took you down memory lane, didn't I? I'm sure I did. A minute after 6 o'clock, good afternoon to everyone tuning in. It is the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Right now I have news headlines for you, and just to let you know that the show is brought to you by Corey's Eats. Have you placed your order for your red velvet waffle or your waffle sandwich? I hope so. Or you can place your order for your steam and brown stew fish. Or your fried chicken or your curry chicken. And by the way, you can ask for your sides with your waffles. Did you know that this waffle business has really taken off for Corey? Because there is a line. There is a long line, a very long line that runs all the way from around where Kentucky Fried Chicken is. And for those of you who do not know where Corey's Eats is, Corey's Eats is situated right by the corner of Boston Road and Baychester Avenue, close to KFC. Can't miss it. So people line up and all they come in there and order is waffle. Never have I heard any such a thing. What can I say? Who do I have on the line? The number is familiar.
Good afternoon to you, Lady D. How are you?
Well, hello, Chris Welby.
What's happening?
I said,
Lady
Chris,
D in the house.
I tell you, Chris Welby, I come in here at my best, and it's been going. And I said to myself earlier when I was talking about the segment that we're going to be doing, I said, I love when Chris Welby call me and I can get to say, Chris Welby. Haven't been able to say that first.
Come on, what are you doing, Lady D? Lady D, that is so bad.
Tell you, we have not been able to do this, but now we can. So it's a good Monday. I'm glad you were able to. I'm saying glad because I'm glad, but I'm also appreciative that you were able to cover for me and Patrick cover for me, and I'm so grateful. And that's a blessing when we build relationships. We can, as we would say, rock you back on each other, right?
Yes, ma'am. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, we can kind of do it that way and see how things roll for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Keeping You in the Know with news, happenings, and facts. And man, are we going to talk this afternoon? So those of you who want to share your comments with us this afternoon, because we have a spicy topic for you. Should a woman have her own bank account if she's married or in a committed relationship? So that's a separate post. Chris? That's a separate post. So.
Interesting.
Very, very, very interesting indeed. But we know a lot of people have hang-ups about that, and even when they go to counseling, that's a big old issue. So it's good that we want to discuss that this afternoon. So welcome everyone, Keeping You in the Know. We have just a few headlines for you that we'll be reading, and then we'll be getting into our new segment, Community Life, and that is indeed communities globally. It happens to everybody. A lot of things are common to everyone. And that's where we're heading. 5 minutes now after 6 o'clock. Let's get into our segment and keep the show moving. Welcome, everybody. As always, I invite Chris Welby to present the first headline of the afternoon.
All right. Good afternoon once again, Lady D, and welcome back. Welcome back, man. We missed you. Good to have you back. Good afternoon to all the listeners on the Linkage Radio and all the connecting partners. Good to be back another Monday evening. So we go right into the news, Lady D, and I'm going to be reading one from the Jamaica Gleaner. It is here, strictly by the rules. Wholeness says issues with wife's development to be addressed by legal guidelines. And the story goes, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has promised residents of 3 upscale St. Andrew neighborhoods that their complaints about a development being pursued by his wife will be addressed strictly by the rules. Residents of Leeds Flat, Forest Hills, and East Kirkland Heights sent a letter to Holness on August 10, demanding his intervention into two developments that they claim threaten the ecology of their communities and the value of their property. One of the developments at Lot 21A and Lot 21B, Leeds Flat, is being undertaken by JAJ Development and in which Juliet Holness is a director and majority shareholder. She is also in the throes of campaign for a second term as a member of parliament for St. Andrews Rural. Juliet is also suing Charlene Ashley, the owner of 21A, for the title of the land, a piece of which she bought in 2012 for $22 million. The drawings of Juliet's apartment and townhouse development appear to enclose Ashley's house and land. The Prime Minister, who has put full responsibility for housing, land, and the environment, said he has read the letter and passed it on to the relevant agencies for further investigation. He said, obviously, it's a matter that involves my wife, so I have to be very careful about it. Prime Minister Holness last Tuesday nominated for a sixth term as Member of Parliament for St. Andrew West Central. He went on to say it will be handled strictly by the rules and it is also a legal matter. Sewage impact number of habitable rooms approved for the property, traffic, fire prevention provision, green space, and privacy are among the community's key concerns. Those issues were put before Dr. Nigel Clark, incumbent MP for St. Andrew Northwestern, last Sunday. In a subsequent statement, the Citizens Association said they accepted his recommendation that alternative courses of action be seriously considered in resolving disagreements towards positive results. The possible actions were not revealed. The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, whose approval process the residents have questioned, has been conducting a review, and CEO Robert Hill had said on August 14th that a report was to be published shortly. One of the major concerns by residents is the number of habitable rooms for Juliet's development. Leeds Flat is located within the Readiness local planning area, which has an allowable density of 30 habitable rooms per acre. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, has said the development was approved for 2.3 acres. The development, which was initially approved at 36 habitable rooms per acre in 2013, was later amended to 44 habitable rooms per acre in 2019, NEPA said. Because the development includes Ashley's private residence, an assessor of the drawings argued that the total development was 2.6 acres, which based on the regulations would give a maximum of 78 homes. Lady D.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. In our next headline, House approves bill that blocks changes at Postal Service until after the election. The House passed legislation on Saturday to infuse $25 billion into the Postal Service and block operational changes that Democrats fear could hobble mail-in voting in this November's election. In a rare Saturday session, the House passed the measure by a vote of 257 to 150, with 26 Republicans siding with Democrats to approve the bill. The bill effectively reverses recent cost-cutting measures introduced by Postmaster General Louis DeJoy that he had called necessary to help shore up the Postal Service's finances. It blocks the Postal Service from making any service or operations changes through at least January and requires it to prioritize delivery of all election-related mail. The White House has threatened a veto, and the bill is not expected to advance through the Republican-controlled Senate. The bill's passage follows weeks in which the Postal Services has emerged as an unlikely flashpoint in the upcoming election. With the coronavirus pandemic killing roughly 1,000 Americans a day, millions more voters than in a typical year are expected to cast a ballot by mail this November rather than risking voting in person. At the same time, recent changes at the Postal Service, including the removal of blue drop-off boxes and sorting machines, have raised concerns that the USPS won't be able to handle the unprecedented influx of mail-in ballots expected in the fall. Speaking ahead of the vote on Saturday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat in California, said the legislation went well beyond the election. Chris?
Yeah, the connection is a little bit off. I'm not hearing you at all. I'm barely hearing you.
Oh, you're not? And I'm hearing you nice and clear.
Yeah, you're hearing me, but when you're reading, I'm getting in like it's very choppy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
All
All right, let's see if we can continue though.
Continue, yes. So go ahead. I'm through reading my headline. We have one more to go.
Yeah, read the other one that you have here. I'm still trying to.
Okay. All right. It's now 30 minutes after 6 o'clock. Welcome to the segment keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. JHTA accuses government of delaying entry approval to visitors. Members of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, the JHTA, are fuming, saying that over the last 2 decades, thousands of local and international visitors who have booked flights to Jamaica have not been able to do so because of delays in securing approval from the government to fly. An irate JHTA member told Observer Online, and I quote, "What is happening is that they are running out of time because without the authorization letter, the airline will not board you. So people are just no-showing, and then you see them calling and cursing and canceling the bookings. This is now happening in the thousands since the last 2 days, to the point now where Jamaica feels like a true banana republic." People are being delayed, waiting to include the days prior to their travel. They're calling the tourist board, they're calling everybody in the country. Travel agents are calling, tour operators are calling, the visitors are calling and getting no response, end quote. The JHTA member said the local hoteliers have no problem with the requirement that visitors from all high-risk countries, including the United States, should be pre-tested. Initially, the members of the JHTA were under the impression that the delay in authorization stemmed from the increased number of American states where pre-testing was required. But according to the JHTA, the members are claiming, I do apologize, that they have received information that the delay in authorization is a direct ploy by the government to reduce the number of travelers to the island in a bid to slow down the spread of COVID-19 cases, which is currently spiking in Jamaica. The tourism players conceded that government should be concerned about the spike in the number of COVID-19 cases, but argue that tourism is not responsible for the spike. Good afternoon. If you are joining us, we welcome you to our segment today. And we also have a segment that is coming up in what we call Community Life. And the question we'll be asking in that segment, should a woman have her own bank account if she's married or in a committed relationship? We would like to hear from you. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. It is my pleasure welcoming you to the Monday Drive today, keeping you in the know, in the city. You walk, drive, and reside. Where are you resting your head? You know, are you on a business trip? or you're somewhere hopping around the world, we remind you to maintain your social distancing. Do what you have to do. Don't get yourself caught up too much into the things that don't really matter. Chris Wilby, stay with me. Don't go anywhere. Right now, taking a quick break. Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nereid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Welcome back, 18 minutes after 6 o'clock. Hey, Chris Wilby, are you all right over there?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, all right. So you corrected the issue. Okay, well, we have wrapped up our new segment, 18 minutes after 6 o'clock. Our telephone number to call us here is 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. Good afternoon to those of you who are joining me on my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone live stream. I want to say hi to Pat and to Cheryl and to Yvette and to Aubrey. Hey, Aubrey, so nice of you to stop by. And our question today is, should a woman have her own bank account if she is married or in a committed relationship? There's always somebody who has something to say. And people have actually gone before their marriage counselor. And, you know, that is just a big issue. So, Chris, are we ready?
Yes, we are. I am ready.
All righty. So here, this is.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic here, Lady B, and I know there are varying debates about it, you know, and everyone has their opinion about it, you know what I mean? So let's see where the conversation goes this afternoon, you know, because,
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, welcome everybody. Community life. You know, we live in a community. Doesn't matter where in the world you are, you have to coexist. You have to socialize. You build relationships. And then you merge as man and woman into relationships. Then somebody say, I love you, when will you marry me? And somebody say, and then, you know, ring put on finger. So that's the marriage, that's the group who fall in that category. Then there are those who just say, well, I'm committed to you, I will be with you, etc., etc. And still, you know, even though you haven't actually signed off in civil court or anything like that, to say, you know, as of today, you're joined to me, I'm joined to you legally on paper. In committed relationships, people still have that very high expectation. And so, you know, it's not because I don't have on a ring on my finger, or not because, you know, I don't have your name, means that I can just voila and do what I want to do. Because some people, you know, find themselves in that kind of predicament. So we want to put it out there today and ask the question. And of course, in order to make the segment what we would like it to be, because we will be posing questions weekly that we find impact a lot of people, right, Chris?
Yes, definitely.
Right, so that's how we're going to do. So, you know, I was And so we open the phone lines to you this afternoon as we ask the question. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. Should a woman have her own bank account if she is married or in a committed relationship? Who would like to call in first? 914-600-4228. And it does not matter if you have always been calling us or you never called before. Now is your time to call and say, hey, Chris, hey, Lady D, this is what I think. And put down your...
Yes, should a woman... No, what's your take? Because I have my opinion on it, Lady D.
Uh-huh.
And... my opinion may not matter to other people, but it's my opinion, just like other people's opinion is their opinion. But if a woman enters into a relationship, because I've seen this kind of debate before, wherein women will say that they... Hello?
Yes, there is somebody on the line, so it sounds open. Good afternoon, how are you?
All right.
Good afternoon, Lady B. Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Gloria.
Good afternoon,
Gloria.
Mr. Wilby.
How are you
Good
doing?
afternoon. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
With the savings there, with a married, with a committed relationship, or whether you're in a committed or a marriage, I believe I feel more independent when I have a little something for myself. Because I'm going to have to go to my other half each time I need something. I think I want to keep a little something somewhere for myself. That's how I feel. It gives me a better sense of independence instead of going to the other person, whether I'm married, committed, or whatever, and putting everything there with him.
Okay.
So you're saying that you would have a secret bank account. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I could tell him that I have a little something, but it gives me a better sense of independence.
So you're not saying that you are going to have a secret account, but you have a separate account.
Yes, a little something that, because if we're married or in a committed relationship, I don't want to be hiding anything from the other person. But sometimes I might want a little something, and then he might want to agree.
So it is also okay for him to have one of his own account, and you have your own account, and then you have a joint account. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm going to put in. We're going to have a big one, but I have a little something, because sometimes women need a little something, and
All right.
especially shoes. Men don't like ladies buy shoes, Sometimes you want to buy it and hide it away, and
Yeah, but Gloria, let's think about it here. What the question about what I'm trying to get at, the answer that I want to find out from you is, you want to have your own account, right?
a little something, not a big one, because I've been putting with his anyway. Yes.
Right. So it's okay for him to have one by himself also.
No, for him not want them want the shoes what a woman wants, and sometimes a lady wants to get a pair of shoes. And he is not going to agree. So he can go buy it and hide it somewhere, and then you show me later, you say, honey, I got this on sale.
Oh, so the woman should have a separate account
A little
from the
something,
joint
that's a big
from the
thing.
joint account, but the man shouldn't.
No, because I'll be still joining with him, but just a little something.
Yeah, but what are you
Make you
joining
feel
each
independent.
other?
Just a little something.
Okay.
What do you
I
consider?
hear.
And Gloria, do you consider little something?
Not more. Just something that's supposed to hear us say like you want a little pair of shoes, Lady D. No ladies love shoes,
All right.
something like that.
Okay, so
Okay, good.
And then they don't always agree when you're gonna buy, because they're gonna say, you have in the closet already, you have. So just a little something. Because I wouldn't feel happy hiding anything from my husband or my partner, wherever he is.
okay.
No, I don't want to hide things from him, that sort of a way. So just a little something.
All right, no problem. Thank you, Gloria.
You're welcome.
All right, love. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. This is our new segment, Community Life. Community Life. This is about issues that affect people in general. This afternoon, we kicked it off because we know, people have hang-ups when they're in relationships, especially some people, Chris, based on how they saw their mother or how they saw their father managed money,
Right.
or who, was in charge of the money. That's all they know. So they haven't really embarked on their own experience. But interestingly, last evening I was watching, which I have seen before, Jump the Broom on Netflix, a Tyler Perry series of movies, right? And it so happened that, and I had to say to myself, boy, isn't this something, because you and I agreed to have this discussion. But what happened is that here is a couple, their daughter is getting married, they're in one of those well-to-dos, seemingly so, right? But their daughter is getting married. Then it's because a lot of things started to unravel that the husband is saying, well, listen, we are broke. And she's looking at him because she thought he was cheating, but he told her, no, I'm not cheating, right? Getting to the point, they're broke and they're hosting this elaborate wedding for their daughter. And it's expected to be that way. Then he's disclosing to his wife that we are broke because some of the investments went bad and so on. The only thing they had left was the house. And she's like, oh, well, at least, she said, I can't bother to give you a response. Nevertheless, the wedding went through and everything, and, they love each other, so they kind of made up. And she said to him, well, because apparently her parents had money, right? And so she had some money set aside of her own that her husband didn't know about. So it turned out that she would now have to go dip into some of this money to maintain their livelihood. So how do you discuss that now? Because most of us in our culture feel that me must have my little one in my bosom kind of thing, right? He's not supposed to know. His money is our money. My money is my money. But we also have to understand that depending on who it does very well with the financing part of the relationship, it doesn't mean now that if he's good at the money, I just shove everything over to him and he only gives me when I ask and I don't know anything what's going on with the account. Because some people don't know. There are women who tell you they don't know a thing, their husband just this and that, and God forbid he is deceased, and it's at that time she don't know where what is and all kind of stuff. Now give me your feedback. And hold on, let me just make a plug with the telephone number. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so you heard Gloria's thoughts towards this, that she feels she should have her little money if she wants a pair of shoes, whatever, she can go get it. I just gave you a typical scenario of what happened if you really need to have a little something stashed away, you never know what can happen. Give us a call, 914-600-4228, Bills. What? Okay. Christine says both should have accounts. I'm thinking maybe she mean. Audrey Brissett says, my husband is secret about his money. So, all right, let's run to the phone line. Good afternoon. Welcome to Community Life.
Lady D, a pleasant good afternoon to you and to Chris. How are you both this beautiful afternoon?
I am doing well, Pat.
Good, we're good.
Okay, all right. Well, we're happy to have
just
you
a minute,
back.
Pat, just one moment. I'm
Yes.
going to ask everyone, please make your comments quick because I am looping the calls. So people are queued and, ready to go. Go ahead.
No problem. Yes, Lady D, I had to chime in on this. Realistically, when we get married, right, we are supposed to be as one, okay? Realistically, that's how we're going to think. But unrealistically, the relationships that we see today, they are not really working out. Now, my money is my money, and his money is our money, okay? Because when I have my money and he wants to up and go about his business, then that's fine. But when it's our money, it has to come down to either 50-50 or 75-25, whatever the case may be. It's not going to be evenly distributed. And it's so sad that relationships today are basically, based on money, because one has to sign a prenup in order to protect their money. Money will make the man run, and money will make you, and it can also break you. So when we're thinking with our heart, we have to be very careful and to protect our assets. When we're protecting with our head, believe you me, Lady D, it's not so easy. But I do agree that when couples marry, they are together, they are joint partners, but there are too many shady things that is going on these days. So people have to realistically protect their assets, okay? So I agree that either party should have their separate account, and they can put a bulk of the money together where both of them will use. That way, when splits will come, they both will be protected. This is my opinion now, okay? I might not be correct, but that's how I feel.
That's it. That's all we
Yes.
need.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pat.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Interesting there, Lady D.
Yes, let me see if we have another call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon again, Lady D. I'm going to tell you a real story. This is a wife and husband, and the wife saves most of the time. The wife will save him, and the husband he doesn't really save. 1 week he went to the bank and put something in it, and the other week he went back and
took out the money.
Took out what he put in it.
Oh dear.
And his wife tell him, don't put penny more in there. Because he cannot say, he put it last week and he come back and take it out this week.
Okay. All right, he's not good.
And it's a true thing, it's not a theory thing, it's a true thing that I know of.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Interesting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gloria. 6:36 p.m. Good afternoon. It is the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Chris will be alongside Lady D, and we have our segment Community Life. And our question this afternoon is, should a woman have her own bank account if she is married or in a committed relationship? Let me just check, Chris, if we have another call. Good afternoon. All right, so continue, Chris. You wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was saying that it's interesting that the ladies, will say you should have one account and then you have a joint account. They should have their own account and then a joint account, and then no, the man does have one. I am thinking, my philosophy is, if you are going into a relationship, you are going into the relationship based on love. And if you start to have trust issues before you go into the relationship, where you have to start being cagey and say, oh, I have to make sure that I protect everything that I have, and what is mine, and what is hers. And I mean, you are setting yourself up for failure. And that is my opinion. I believe that if you enter into a relationship, you shouldn't have the kind of secrecy where you have to be hiding an account. You should. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have your own account. You know what I mean? The woman can have an account, the man can have his account, and then you have a joint account, but they shouldn't be secret. So that's the difference. So if I have my account, my wife should know that I have an account. And if she has an account, I should know that she has an account and where the account is, and vice versa.
Okay.
Just in case something happens, I know where to go to find that account, because things can happen. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you shouldn't have this secrecy. So there's a difference between having a secret account and having your own account.
Right, because you're thinking that full disclosure is
exactly
is a principal
exactly
thing. Right, is a principal thing.
And the minute you start having these kind of secrets, because if I find out that my wife has a secret account where I have no idea, I had no idea that she had it. Why we go have to talk? You know what I mean? Because it means that you don't. I look at it that you don't trust me. That you believe that I am into. I don't know. I am out for the money, or So yeah.
And again, as I say, how we were raised, socialized, and so on, we pick up on those kinds of nuggets and we incorporate them into our lives. So as you say, if you and I are dating, because of my experiences, whether or not I'm divorced or I was in a relationship or I saw my father just run off gone, and leaving my mother without nothing kind of thing, my modus operandi is, whoever want to marry me, listen here, you're not going to do the same thing. And that's how it's communicated in a very, very defensive and, crass way, because that's all I know. I just want you to know, listen up here. Even if we have a joint account, I am not in it where I have to come to you. And the coming to you for money. I saw in a family, the wife was very good with money. And so her husband would come home with his pay and just give her the check. And she would, allocate accordingly. He gets his little spending money. I never heard them arguing, because she was just good like that. And he never had no problem. Did the whole world know that his wife, would give him his spending money and so on? No. But at some point, the two of you will realize who is better equipped to manage the finances.
Exactly.
And if I know I am the spendthrift, then by all means, that's really why I want to have my personal account, because I know every minute I'm going in there for something. So yes, we have the autonomy to open an account, to manage our own money. If it's not the joint account and your husband see you coming in every minute with a shoes, a bag, something of the sort, Because usually we're not using our own money to go buy furniture and something. It's always personal things. And so he will sit on the sideline and say, oh, no wonder. It's a good thing, say me managing the joint account, or it's a good thing, something. Because if I keep going into the joint account, he's going to say, but at some point we're going to be broke. We won't have anything. Because there are just some people who you cannot allow them. They don't have that kind of control.
But I think what should happen in relationship is that people should discuss these things, from the onset, and don't wait until I think that is where a lot of us go wrong, where we wait until we are actually in the relationship. And then you see how the man is behaving. And you say the man behave cagey. Or the woman moves sideways.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you don't discuss these things up front. And I believe that is the problem, because these are things that you should discuss. How do you believe, or how do you see the finances?
Yes.
Do you believe that when we get married, are we going to have our separate accounts? Are we going to have just one joint account? Are we going to have 3 accounts? I mean, these are things that people need to discuss, but sometimes people don't do it because they are right. They are shy and they don't want it to seem as if you are in it for the money. But trust me, these are things that need to be put on the table from day one. It will prevent a whole lot of headaches down the line.
There's a caller online holding on, and I'd just like to read a response on the YouTube page. I agree, there should be no secrecy before getting into a relationship. There should be open, honest discussion about finance and expectations. But I believe there should be 3 accounts: his, mine, and ours. And that is Christine. Let's go to the phone line. Good afternoon. Welcome to Community Live.
Well, Lady D, I am listening to the discussion between you and Chris, and I agree with you both. Also, the listener that you just posted our comment, that's what I had said earlier. 3 accounts: my account, your account, and our account together for the house. Now, our culture really predetermines who we are. We learn so much from our culture. Growing up, we saw in our culture in Jamaica where the woman, was the backbone when it comes to the finances. The husband will come home and give her $20, and she make that $20 stretch. She will buy food, she will pay the bills and whatever. We're talking about way back then. This is just a hypothetical, statement. However, we see, and Chris used a word earlier, trust. You see, when people decide that they are going to come together, they're dating and they plan to get married. These are discussions that should have taken place before, but as we can see, those discussions, they don't take place. People just see eye for each other and they want to get married, and then after then in the relationship, then we see where the financial strain comes into play. But as I used a word earlier, being realistic and unrealistic. When 2 people get married and trust is involved, communication is involved, you shouldn't have to really worry about the finances, okay? But as I said earlier, unrealistically, there are some people, they are just getting married because for the hype, they get caught up. The love is the love is conditioned.
Yes.
I'm going to get what I can get from you. They're not looking about the unconditional love. They're not looking at the long term. Love today is basically short term. You get married today and next week you get divorced. And before you know it, you're in a financial strain.
Yes.
But it's really sad how, money becomes a wedge in the relationship only because 2 people are not seeing eye to eye. If both are seeing eye to eye, then, there should be no problem.
Yes.
But initially, those matters should be discussed before they actually get in the relationship And if you want to get out, you just say you want to get out. Let me know where you stand. But don't have me tied up and then you're going to come and take my money. You don't have any women I know of right now who have been in dire straits because the man leave them high and dry, take their money and they're gone. You know, they just swindle and swindle and swindle. And so, like I said, that love was not long term. That was short term. It's all about what I can get from you.
Yes.
So it's a pretty good discussion, but you're welcome.
Okay,
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, it is now 6:47 p.m. We end at 7 o'clock. If you'd like to call, we would love to hear your views on this. Call us 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. Let's hear from you because we know how this thing go. As a matter of fact, you know, an article I'm looking at here says having one bank account offers a number of benefits. For example, sharing an account allows each spouse access to money when they need it. Joint accounts usually provide each account holder with a debit card, a checkbook, and the ability to make deposits and withdraw funds. If your bank provides it, each of you would have online access to account information and tools which can simplify paying bills and other shared financial tasks. Now, Chris, the purpose. So, if I am coming together with you, it simply means that there has to be a greater level of expectation for the two of us. So if I'm struggling as a single person and you are pretty much a little ahead of me, or if it's two struggling people and we're saying we're going to share life together, build life together, we're going to make our finances grow, we're going to tithe, we're going to do this and that and so on. I don't know if people are coming together with that kind of mindset, because a man is supposed to take care of you. The God-given role of the man is to provide for you. So the expectation is he's supposed to take care of me. It doesn't mean now that fine, I have my own bank account, so if something happened and he come and say, well, you know, Denise, you can give me a loan because I'm supposed to say, because there are many variables to consider in this one question here. It's a loaded question. Because a wife can say to her husband, you're supposed to take care of me, me not lending you any of my money. And women have said that to men on the premise that he is never supposed to be out of money. He's supposed to always be able to manage this, manage that. So the reality of it for many people, that's why marriages fail. They don't share information. People don't share information. If I've had a savings account, a checking account, this and that, all kind of financial things that I've dabbled into and it is working for me, and then we meet. If something happened to me, it's supposed to look so bad that my spouse don't know where to go find anything, but my sister coming, my cousin coming to say she had said X, Y, and Z, and this is where she have this stuff. What are your what is your thinking?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, in some respects, because especially the last part here, where you talk about the secrecy, where you have that account and something happen, and somebody else from outside have to come in and come say, or maybe a child, because you confide in the child, but you did not confide in your spouse about it. So the child knows what the spouse doesn't know. And whenever I am discussing these kind of issues, I believe it should be equal across the board. I don't believe that a woman should necessarily have any advantage in terms of she's supposed to have or she's allowed to have her own little secret account, or she should have her own little this, her own little that. Because in the end, anybody can run off with the money. If you have a joint account, the woman can run off with the money, the man can run off with the money. So it doesn't hold water to say that, boy, the man, them terrible, because we human beings are terrible people. So
Chris.
As far as I'm concerned, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if you if you come into a relationship, you ought to have trust, understanding, respect, love, and all of that. You are supposed to be one. The minute you start to think that way, that is where the negativity seep into the relationship, and that is why a lot of relationships fail, because you do not go into it 100%. You always have this caginess in the back of your mind. That I'm not saying that people are to protect their assets, that's not what I'm saying,
Right.
Because if you are coming together and if you're going to have a prenup, that's fine too, because you're putting things on the table from day one. You understand what I'm saying? So if you are going to have a prenup, say, okay, look, this is where we're going, and we put it on the table, that's fine. I have no problem with that. And if you are going to make a will, or if you are going to put things in writing, that's fine too. I don't have a problem with that. But my problem is where you believe that, boy, I must hold on to this, or I must hold on to that. If you are a man or a woman, you're going to end up with problems, because when the other person finds out that you are being cagey, that then the trust starts to deteriorate.
Should a woman have her own bank account if she is married or in a committed relationship? We have 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, Trudy Artnock on my Facebook page says she agree with me. Can't go in with insecurities.
Right.
And Deborah Renee McCoy says the woman is vulnerable. Not sure I understand what that means. So it's a very interesting debate and a very interesting topic. I wish we had more time to go into it, because it has so many dynamics to it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But my personal opinion on the whole matter is that because you can even have one account, but I see the advantage of having 3 accounts. Because sometimes people want to be independent.
Yes.
The man might want to buy something just for himself, that he don't necessarily want him, and it's not hiding or him being secretive or anything. He just wants to spend him little money, buy something nice for himself where he doesn't have to report to his wife, and vice versa. The woman wants to do the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's not that you're hiding it or you're doing whatever. There is just this level of independence when you can take up your credit card and you go on Amazon and you buy something, and you don't have to worry that why my husband, I got check up and see that I bought, as Gloria said, a pair of shoes, and then you start looking at the account going down. There is just that when you have your own, where you put a little something into that, and then the majority goes into the main account, it gives you a little bit of independence that you can do whatever you want sometimes, treat yourself.
We have a final call. Good afternoon. Oh, I do apologize. Good afternoon. Hello? Hello? All right, 914-600-4228. It's 6:56. We have 4 minutes. So Pat says, I was in a relationship. The individual told me that we can combine our income so it can become stronger. I left that relationship real fast. But why? Because, I alluded to that fact earlier that you do have that. People who say, all right, we love each other, but we can put the money together and start to build. Is something wrong with that? Pat says she left the relationship real fast. So, me don't know.
Yeah, it's a very interesting debate here. Trudy says she still have to have her secret bank account, even though she agree with me. She still have to have her secret bank account. Okay, Trudy, I hear you.
So, well, then that means there can be 4 bank accounts involved. There is the full disclosure bank account, there is the secret one, there's a joint account, and then there is his.
There is something about secrecy, When the secret no longer becomes secret,
right.
then you're going to have problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that is the thing about the secret bank account, because the minute somebody find out that you were hiding this bank account from me for all these years, then you start to wonder why. You know what I mean? And it started, the trust start breaking down right here, because it means you never trust me in the first place. And so, no, I'm not going to trust you.
Yeah.
What else have you been hiding from me?
Right. Christine,
you know what I mean?
Christine says, it is never wise, regardless of whether you're married or not, just to have one account. It's important to have many accounts. Married or single, always have more than one account. Okay. So we're wrapping up now, but certainly we thank you all for your participation.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lady D, and thank you. We look forward to continuing these kinds of discussion in what do we call it? The community life. Community life, right?
Yes, community life. So no matter where in the world you are, we do have commonalities
it can impact
and everything. Yes, that will impact you. So next week we're coming with another hot one for you. You won't be able to sit down. Pat says the individual wasn't coming in to bill, but instead had ulterior motives. Okay, Pat. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thanks again, Lady D. I appreciate it. And welcome back. We miss you. We're glad you're back.
Thank you, Chris. Will be blessings. Have a good Monday evening.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Monday Drive today, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. I had a good time, and I'm glad to be back. And, I just couldn't leave you and gone. That would certainly not be professional, not to have someone covering for me and keeping the show going, So, yes, Pat, awesome discussion. And we're coming back with something next week. We have to find things that resonate with you all. Something, because we are living this life. Mine might just have a slight variation to it, but we're all living the life, okay? And I might not be living a particular topic, but I certainly might know somebody else, So blessings. Thanks, Chris Wilby, for tuning in as always with me. It's now 7 o'clock. As always, I want to say thanks to everyone tuning in and to bless you up, and to say as always, Cooler Runnings, Jamaican Restaurant, and Corey's Eats, we thank you so much for sponsoring the show this afternoon. As always, love yourselves, love your children, and remember in everything you do, it is the will of God concerning your life. I'll be back on Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Blessings, everyone. Mwah. I'm out of here.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nereida Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.